Hey everyone, okay, so this is just a small little quickie video because I noticed recently I was going through a whole gaggle of YouTube videos on makeup, and I was noticing that we're not seeing that trend anymore of contouring, and I kind of want to put my thoughts in on why that is. Now, I've done many videos on contouring, and bear in mind I've been here for 10 years now. And some of my favorite videos have been on contouring. If you click above, there's two videos here that I'm most proud of when it comes to contouring. Now, contouring in general is a wonderful tool that helps you to define the face and really, in my mind, add dimension to the face. It can certainly work on areas of the face that we want to alter slightly if we're very careful with it and we understand our face shape, our nose shape, our eye shape, our chin, all of those kind of things. The standard contouring doesn't work for every single face, just like the nose contour doesn't. But the reason it's kind of fallen out of fashion is because contouring should be an invisible method that we use underneath makeup. You should not be able to see it, but it should be able to give you dimension and definition that you didn't have before. But when the contouring craze kicked off, we saw tons and tens of thousands and millions of videos on people contouring where they left the contour visible, therefore kind of destroying the entire illusion of what contouring is, which is an invisible part of a makeup application that is designed to enhance your bone structure. It should not be visible, and yet we saw stripes and marks and dirty looking faces all over the place, and it got to the point where people just thought, I'm not going to contour anymore because it doesn't look natural. And you can make it look natural. It can look flawless and beautiful and like there's nothing there other than sharper definition and more dimension on the face, which is why I mentioned those two videos that I did, because they're perfect examples of how you can structure a face beautifully based on your bone structure and how to blend it so that it doesn't look obvious, but you've still got the faintest whiff of a shadow or definition and dimension to your face. YouTube really kind of blew up and destroyed the whole contouring phase because everybody jumped on the bandwagon of contouring and didn't really know what they were doing, and therefore were leaving these marks and lines all over the face that didn't look natural. I still see it today a lot because there's one thing that hasn't seemed to die down. It has a bit, but it's still pretty obvious, which is where you're seeing a really sharp kind of bronzer kind of contour on the nose, and they're kind of going across here as well, which is a technique, but there are very few nose shapes, like button noses it looks great on, but regardless, they're crossing it over, and they're using not only a true bronzer, which is fine sometimes, but a shimmery one, and it is, I'm blown away every time I see it because it doesn't look subtle, it doesn't look natural, and it's bizarre. And of course, I realize that you should be able to do anything you want when it comes to makeup. You really should, and you shouldn't let someone like me who really doesn't know what they're talking about to tell you otherwise. But from a perspective of somebody that's done makeup for 20 years, it really isn't an attractive look in my eyes. I find it very peculiar that you would want to emphasize, is that a word? And draw attention to an area of your face that you are trying to minimize. If you're contouring your nose, you are trying to minimize it. You want it to be less distractive, right, on the face. But doing all that is just making you look directly at the nose. It's very peculiar. But I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this whole contouring, the trend of contouring and the decline of it, what you think about all of that, and of course some of the comments I've made about that horrible nose thing. Let me know right down below. Thanks for watching. See you all soon. Bye-bye.